The gallery owner was dead. I guess sometimes playing the hero doesn't pay. My company had insured the exhibition, so I had a crime to solve. The cops would be here soon. I didn't have much time. For the discerning connoisseur, a soupçon at 80,000. The bust was balanced precariously on the pedestal. I didn't want to knock it off. All I needed was a mere 65,000, and this little gem could be mine. 55,000. Huh, shame. Just outside my price range. The alarm still worked on that painting. I wondered why the stolen painting's alarm hadn't sounded. The thief left the pizza box behind. I wondered what was in it. Well, no surprise there. Pizza. The guy must have been hungry. There was only one slice left. No one had noticed the pizza box fall onto the floor. I decided to leave it alone. The door was locked with a keypad. The wires from the camera ran into the room behind. It must have captured the whole robbery. If I could get the code to the keypad, I might be able to shed some light on the crime. Just 90,000 for this one. Another alarm working as it should. The label said it was painted in 1932. The gallery wanted 80 grand for it. A rare glimpse of the absinthe-addled mind of the artist. A snippet, only 80 grand. Another working alarm. Was the alarm on the stolen painting the only one that wasn't working? Another working alarm. Was the alarm on the stolen painting the only one that wasn't working? This was where the stolen painting had hung. Why that painting? And why kill for it? The stolen painting had an alarm, which should have sounded when the painting was removed. I needed to find out why it hadn't. I pressed the vibration detector pad. Nothing happened. It was the speaker cone for the alarm. It hadn't sounded when the painting was stolen. Looked fine to me. That wasn't the reason the alarm didn't go off. So that was why the alarm hadn't sounded. A wire had been cut by someone who knew exactly what they were doing. This was an inside job. The button bypassed the pressure pad system. Cutting the wire had disabled the pads. Excuse me, Father.
Yes, my son.
I'm George Stobart. My company insured the exhibition.
My name is Simeon.
Is there anything I can do?
You can pray for his soul.
A senseless murder.
On the contrary, this killing makes plenty of sense.
What do you mean?
A great evil has taken place. This is the work of the devil.
What?
I am a Dominican priest. I know these things. And now, excuse me, I must pray.
1 minute I'd been planning dinner with Nico. The next I was talking art theft, murder, and the devil with a priest. He definitely looked better. I put the glasses back where they were. Best to leave the evidence the way I found it. I didn't want Henri's blood on my hands. There was a small piece of paper in the dead man's hand. It was too intriguing not to take a look. It read, 2:30 p.m., be ready. Innocent enough, until I realized that the robbery took place at 2:30 p.m. There was something fishy going on around here, and it wasn't just the canapes. I quickly replaced the note. Poor guy. In Henri's pocket was a tiny bottle. It was a bottle of Brett. The label claimed it would wake the beast within. A cryptic note in a bottle of overpowering cologne. No personal effects or anything else of substance. I definitely needed to check out that office. The poster looked old. I didn't want to touch it. Spanish modernists certainly didn't come cheap. I wondered how many paintings they'd sold at these prices. It was Hector Lane, France's greatest art critic. We'd met before. It hadn't ended well. For a moment, I thought he was dead, but from the snoring, I guessed he'd only fainted. Time to awaken the beast. What?
What was that? It smells like the 70s. Where am I?
You fainted. Welcome back to the land of the living.
I wouldn't exactly call this living. Don't just stand there. Get me something to eat. I've had a terrible shock, you know.
Excuse me, Mr. Lane.
Food! My nerves demand food!
I found a slice of pizza.
I asked for food, boy, not a cardboard simulacrum.
Oh, okay, if you don't want it.
I didn't say that. Now give it here. Given the circumstances, that was surprisingly acceptable. Now what's been going on? Oh, Henri, is he
Dead? Afraid so.
poor chap? Just like him to steal the limelight, though.
Excuse me.
Do I know you?
Yes, our paths have crossed in the Glees Gallery.
Of course, the man with the absinthe. I don't suppose you...
Afraid not.
Pity. I'm sorry, but I'm having trouble remembering your name.
I'm George Stobart. I insured the exhibition.
Ha! I hope you have deep pockets then, my boy.
Could I ask you a few questions, Mr. Lane?
Fire away.
Did you know the gallery owner?
Of course, we worked together on the exhibition.
Oh, really?
Henri provided the space. I was the creative powerhouse.
How long had you known him?
As a friend, many years. Our professional relationship had only recently blossomed into this exhibition, under my curatorial wing. And now the poor fellow's gone and got himself killed.
If Lane was involved with the gallery, then he had to know the code to that door. Do you know anything about the stolen painting?
Of course, dear boy. La Malediccio, a little-known work, turned up at the last minute.
What about the killer? Were you able to get a look at him?
A delinquent in a tin hat. Beyond that, I don't really recall.
Oh, yeah, you fainted.
Those of us with a higher aesthetic are more sensitive to violence.
So you curated the exhibition? What's it about?
A brilliant retrospective. A dialectical window on European art's ongoing discourse with the unresolved psychoses of the nation-state.
Wow, you took the words right out of my mouth. So, you help run this place? Maybe you can give me the code to that door.
The code to the office?
I just thought you might have the number.
I do, but I couldn't possibly give you access before the police arrive.
I figured I wasn't going to get the door code from Lane by playing nice. I needed to turn the heat up. Mr. Lane, you're really going to have to give me the code to that door.
And why, pray, should I do that?
Because the way the cops will see it, you're the prime suspect. We both know you're innocent, Mr. Lane, but the cops, well, they may not see things so simply. I might be able to get them off your case, but in exchange, I'd like the code for the office door.
But that's preposterous. The police would have neither evidence nor motive.
Funny you should mention that. Someone sabotaged the alarm on the stolen painting. A wire was cut.
What? Who could have got into the alarm system?
Exactly. It was an inside job, Mr. Lane.
You're not suggesting that I...
Well, I'm afraid that's the way the cops are going to see it.
That's preposterous. How could I possibly have cut the wire?
An unusual painting turns up at your exhibition and gets stolen. Doesn't look good, does it?
And your point is?
The cops are going to ask some awkward questions. But you give me the code to the CCTV room, and I'll do my best to point them elsewhere.
I cannot let you into that room, Mr. Stobart. Besides, Henri found La Malédiction, not me. I had nothing to do with it.
This is an inside job for sure, Mr. Lane. The police are going to be very interested in your recent movements.
I've been out of town for several days, and last night I retired early.
Just saying.
You're not going to scare me into giving you that door code, you know.
I was onto something here, and I knew it. Lane was sweating. It wasn't pretty. The nail clippers were monogrammed with the letters H.L. Hector Lane. They must have fallen out of his pocket. Are these your nail clippers, Mr. Lane?
Yes, they have my initials monogrammed on them.
Huh. The perfect implement for cutting the alarm on the stolen painting.
What are you saying?
Well, the alarm was sabotaged, Mr. Lane. It was an inside job.
Are you accusing me? How dare you? I had no reason to kill Henri, no motive whatsoever.
Okay, but I don't think the cops will see it like that. And I sure would like that door code. How about it, Mr. Lane? Ready to give me the door code yet?
Certainly not. Give me a single reason why I should.
Guilty by way of nail clippers.
I've been away from Paris for several days and only got back this morning. How could I have cut that wire?
The street was quiet and upmarket. Not the kind of place for an opportunist thief. From out here, you couldn't see the stolen painting. This robbery was definitely planned. The room looked like some sort of office for the gallery. I could just see the glow of the CCTV monitor in the corner. I've always been a sucker for Parisian stained glass. Excuse me.
Monsieur?
There's just been a robbery at the gallery.
Oh, really?
You don't sound surprised.
All property is theft, monsieur. And all art is property. Therefore, all art is theft. Do you not agree?
Well, when you put it like that, it's hard not to. Did you see anybody run out of the gallery earlier?
There was a beautiful woman with a camera. She was chasing somebody.
Oh, that must have been Nico.
You know her? You surprise me.
Can you tell me anything about the man she was chasing?
I assume, monsieur, that like all of us, he is inherently unknowable.
No wonder this guy's cafe was empty. The gallery owner, Henri, was shot dead trying to stop the robbery.
Life has no meaning the moment you lose the illusion of being eternal.
Right. Did you know him well?
Can we ever truly know another human being, monsieur? He spent little time at the cafe, unlike his friend, Monsieur Lane.
What do you know about Le Lizard Bleu?
He's bourgeois, vacuous, and overpriced. Just like its curator Lane. He's always in here, you know, talking art to his latest flusée.
What do you know about Hector Lane?
Lane? Oh yes. He drinks here sometimes. He slid away last night without paying.
Last night? What sort of time?
After midnight for sure. If you see him, give him this bill and tell him to pay up next time.
The check was from last night, but Lane told me he was nowhere near the gallery. This could be the leverage I needed to get the office door code from Lane. Do you recognize these?
They are nail clippers.
Would you like a squirt of this?
Are you suggesting I smell, monsieur?
No, sorry. Thank you for your consistent indifference, monsieur.
Perhaps next time you come, I will give you a coffee. Perhaps not.
The menu offered black coffee and a short list of soft drinks. Take a look at this.
What of it?
It's your bill from the cafe next door.
So?
It's dated yesterday. Last night, in fact. 12:30 to be exact. You said you were out of town. You sure drank a lot of champagne last night without paying the bill. But you told me that you were away from Paris last night. I hate to say it, but that sounds like a lie to me. Tell you what, you give me the code to the door, and the police need never know. A motive and proof of involvement. Not looking good, Mr. Lane.
You are a blackmailer, Stobart.
Just doing my job.
All right. You have me. The number is 6397. But I admit to none of these spurious accusations.
I had the code. The police would be here any moment, so I had to work fast. What was that number again? 642... No.
Everyone, hold it right there.
Damn it.
I am Inspector Navet of the Paris Serious Crime Squad, and I hereby declare this crime scene open. Closed. Now, nobody move, especially you on the floor. Moo, I want a total lockdown. Nobody in or out. Apart from me, of course.
I needed to get back into the gallery, but a familiar figure was guarding the door. It was Sergeant Moo. Our paths had crossed before. It was an office. The room was full of strange trinkets. The body was still in there. I had to get back inside. Sergeant Moo, we meet again.
Aha, Madame Collard, an unexpected pleasure.
I was in the gallery at the time of the theft. Can I get back in?
I am sorry, but I am under strict orders from Inspector Navet. Nobody in, nobody out. And I must correct you, madame. It is no longer just a theft. It is a murder.
Mon Dieu! That poor man! I witnessed the crime. I've got to get back in there.
I'm sure you can make an official statement in good time.
I saw the thief. I think I can help the investigation.
I am implacable, Madame Collard.
Who is Inspector Navet?
The most promising young investigator on the force. A genius, a man blessed with almost superhuman insight.
He sounds highly perspicacious.
Madame, it is not for us to talk about the inspector's sweaty proclivities. He is about to solve his third case in as many days.
So, what's he got that the other investigators don't have?
Blood spatter. He is the world expert. He reads the entrails of the crime scene like a book.
I really need to get into the gallery and speak to Inspector Navet.
Tut tut, he is not to be disturbed. He is applying his famous scientific methods. Any moment now, the case will be cracked. I certainly hope so. I am dog-tired and want to go home.
I chased after the shooter and got a photo of him.
Inspector Navet will be delighted.
You've got to let me into the gallery to show him.
Absolutely not.
So, I cannot go in without Inspector Navet's permission?
No.
And to get Inspector Navet's permission, I need to go in.
Exactement.
Have you ever heard of Kafka, Sergeant Moo?
Madame Collard, I do not see what soccer players have to do with this.
No, he's a... Never mind. This was madness. Sergeant Moo wasn't going to let me in. Here's my press card. Do you have a statement for the paper?
Yes, madame. Stay away from the crime scene and let the police do their job. And always leave a light on when you go out at night.
Why are you so tired, Sergeant Moo?
I have been working for 3 days with no rest. Navet is a genius in his field, and he assumes that we all have his energy and vigor.
Oh, you poor man. If you'd like to go and get some sleep, I will watch the door for you.
That's very thoughtful of you. Ha! A cunning attempt to make me a deserter, madame. A gendarme never leaves his post.
Well, how about a hot drink?
Ah, that would do the trick for sure. Unfortunately, I mustn't drink on duty. My doctor specifically warned me against it after the last... incident.
That incident you mentioned, what happened exactly?
I don't want to talk about it. All I can say is it was very unfortunate. I am on duty, and I need to focus.
Thanks a lot, Sergeant Moo. You've been so helpful. The pissoir was decorative and unpleasant.
Madame,
Bonjour, monsieur.
whatever it is you want, we are closed.
Then why you standing here?
You would not understand, madame.
Try me.
Because I look at you, and I know you are like all the others.
The others?
The pretty women who shop, who gossip, who have their spa days, their almond croissant,
That bad, huh?
and the men with their grooming products and their shiny shoes and their skinny suits who come to my cafe and ask me for lattes, macchiatos, frappes.
I see your point.
Is this what we fought on the barricades for, madame? Ripped up the paving slabs, bled on the streets.
Isn't it?
No, madame, it is not. We fought for ideas, for philosophy, for freedom, equality, fraternity.
Vive la révolution.
And do you know what drove us on as we fought? What fueled the streets of Paris in that glorious spring? What made our hearts soar?
Cheap wine and free sex?
No, madame, no! It was French Café Noir that inspired us. The simple demi-tasse, the black, sweet taste of freedom.
So that's why you closed?
Yes, madame. I serve only thinkers, philosophers, revolutionaries. And you, madame, with your polite top and your pointy heels, are none of those things.
This is a cafe.
Yes, to the right people.
On any other day, I would have given this guy a straight one to the chin. But there was a chance he could help me get into the gallery. The menu offered black coffee and a small selection of other drinks. An intricate stained glass window, irresistible to any tourist. Here's my press card.
La liberté. Madame, you are not the person that I took you to be. You must accept my deepest, my most profound apologies.
Well, of course I accept. But why?
La Liberté, the great journal of freedom. At the height of the battle, as the tear gas blew and the blood flowed, it was La Liberté which carried the voice of our revolution to the world. I know now that you are not the kind of woman who would ask me for almond croissant. You are a true daughter of France, and I am your humble servant.
Monsieur,
The road to enlightenment is a long one, madame. Perhaps you will walk that road with me?
could we have a little chat?
Any time, madame.
Did you see anything happen at the gallery earlier?
I saw you running after a pizza delivery guy. Somebody said he killed someone.
That's true. He stole a painting and shot the gallery owner.
How close we are to death. And yet how far from ever comprehending it.
Well, right now I need to get back inside and figure out what happened.
I applaud you, madame. To seek the truth is a worthy ambition.
As a journalist, that is my duty. How about some coffee?
For you, madame, of course. There is only one coffee that I can serve you. Black, strong, and in a tiny cup. One moment. Here is your coffee, madame.
Thank you, monsieur. The coffee was hot and strong. Could you make me a coffee to go?
For a fellow revolutionary? Of course, madame. One moment. Here's your takeaway coffee, madame.
Thank you, monsieur. Salut.
Bonjour, madame.
Sergeant Moo, I brought you a coffee.
Coffee? Fantastic. Just what I need. But wait. I must not. My little problem.
I'm sure one little cup of coffee won't hurt.
I am tempted, madame, but I cannot risk it. I am sorry.
So, this incident, it involved you, some coffee, and your little problem?
It is a tale of woe, madame.
I'm all ears, Sergeant.
Well, since you seem quite understanding, I shall elaborate.
Please do.
I was in charge of canine security for the president himself. One day, en vacances, he went for a private discussion with a lady minister. I stayed alone with his dog, but I had drunk a coffee to stay awake, and nature came to call. So I tied the dog to a tree and went for a secret pee-pee. When I came back, the dog was having a liaison dangereuse with the lady minister's terrier.
But how did they find out?
Well, 2 months later, the president's Labrador gave birth to 6 beautiful mongrels. And I was busted to sergeant just after the president's divorce came through.
You are a victim of a great injustice, Sergeant.
You think so?
But of course, you knew you must not fall asleep at your post. You were guarding the president himself.
Well, the president's dog.
Ah, it was the same thing.
Yes, I suppose.
And by drinking that coffee, you made the ultimate sacrifice for our glorious republic, your career.
Now you put it like that?
And now France is calling you again. She is saying, drink, Sergeant Moo, drink!
She is?
She is. Drink or fall asleep at your post. Which is it to be?
I suppose it is drink?
Bravo, Sergeant!
Oh dear. Oh dear. Excuse me, madame. I must use the petit gendarme's room. It has gone straight through me. Could you watch the gallery door for me?
Oh, you can count on me, Sergeant. I distracted Moo. It was now or never.
How did you get past Sergeant Moo? Well, you won't fool me so easily, madame. I shall question you later.
Nico, am I glad to see you.
I managed to grab a couple of photos, but the guy got away.
Poor Henri is dead.
I know. Why kill him?
I've been trying to find out. Turns out the alarm was tampered with. It looks to me like an inside job.
So, no ordinary robbery?
And no ordinary painting. The priest claims that La Maledictio is evil. I need to get into the office and see what the CCTV has to offer.
So, what's the problem?
The inspector's watching me like a hawk. I'll never get in without some sort of distraction.
I'll see what I can do. The bust was striking. I liked it, but not enough to buy it. Nice price tag. I couldn't use this painting to distract Inspector Nave, not without getting into more trouble anyway. Nice use of color. If it hadn't been for the body, I would have enjoyed looking at the paintings. It was the alarm for the painting that had been stolen. I liked it, but not enough to buy it. I couldn't use this painting to distract Inspector Nave, not without getting into more trouble anyway. I'd never met the gallery owner before, but he sure didn't deserve this. If it hadn't been for the body, I would have enjoyed looking at the paintings. The tomato sauce had splattered on the floor. I spread some of this sauce around with my shoe. It looked a little bit like a blood stain, but it still wasn't right. If I was going to distract the cop, I had to get rid of that gun. No way was I going to clean that up with my bare hands. At least now the place was a little tidier. Excuse me, Father.
Father Simeon, my child.
Are you okay, Father?
It's a terrible shock, but yes, I'm fine, thank you.
Could I ask you some questions about the crime?
What kind of questions?
I'm a reporter for La Liberté.
I suppose it cannot hurt. Please ask away.
Why did you come to the gallery today, Father?
God brought me here. I saw the poster for the exhibition. I had to come.
What do you mean?
I knew there was great evil in La Maledictio. It was my duty to confront it. The painter was El Serp, the Serpent, don't you see?
Evil? So, what were you planning on doing here today?
I wanted to bear witness to anything that the devil would conjure.
Well, I think it was a no-show, Father.
Really? A man is dead, Miss Collard. I'd say his work here today is done.
That wasn't going to help my story. Did you see anything that might help identify the killer?
The devil takes many forms, child. I didn't get a good enough look, I'm afraid.
Anything would help.
I'm sorry, my dear. My mind was elsewhere.
What do you know about Henri?
An innocent victim, insofar as any of us are innocent. If he was peddling such blasphemous works as the El Serp painting, then who knows what other sins he was hiding.
Father Simeon was making me feel guilty. Priests always did that to me. What can you tell me about the painting?
Grotesque and evil.
How can a painting be evil?
By killing all who come into contact with it.
Does that mean we're next?
Laugh not at the devil's play, Miss Collard.
What do you think about that stain?
Is that blood?
I think it's just sauce. I wonder if there's a mop anywhere.
We are facing death and divine retribution. This is no time for tidying up.
Father Simeon wasn't making much sense. This is my press card. As I said, I work for La Liberté.
Good. Be sure to warn your readers that this painting is evil.
Thank you for your time, Father. The priest had nothing useful to offer. I scraped up the chewing gum with my press card, hoping the inspector wouldn't notice. The tomato sauce looked as close to blood as it was ever going to. The gallery was already a mess. I didn't feel like tearing the poster down. Nice price tag. I couldn't use this painting to distract Inspector Nave. Not without getting into more trouble anyway. Are you Hector Lane, the art critic?
Enchanté, madame. And which of the angels are you?
I'm Nico Collard, a reporter.
Ah, a fallen angel then, my favorite sort.
What can you tell me about the painting that was taken?
It was called La Malediccio, an unknown work that only recently surfaced.
Who was the artist?
A mysterious figure known only as El Serp. Some say he was a student of Picasso. He was good, but not great, and his true identity remains unknown.
What can you tell me about the theft?
Oh, it was truly awful. What do you want to know?
Have you spoken to Georges?
The American?
Yes.
He promised to clear up any misunderstandings the police might have about my presence here.
Father Simeon says that the painting is evil.
The priest is a lunatic. La Malediccio is a painting, and a painting cannot be evil.
What can you tell me about Henri's involvement with the gallery?
Dear Henri, a shining diamond in the ordure that is the modern art business. He owned the gallery. What will we do without him?
Tell me about the shooting, monsieur.
Well, it all happened so fast.
Take your time. What did you see?
I can't be sure. Perhaps I could answer your questions over dinner.
I'm sorry, monsieur. I'm on a tight deadline. Did you see the thief?
I would have tackled him, but he was too quick for me.
Did you know that the alarm had been sabotaged?
No. How dreadful. I suppose that's why the alarm isn't ringing.
Thanks for your help, Monsieur Lane. I wasn't going to get anything useful from Lane. Inspector Nave, do you have a moment?
My time is of the essence. Be quick now.
Have you seen the stain on the floor over there? It looks like blood.
Indeed. How very curious. I must investigate immediately, before one of these idiots steps in it. Interesting. Maybe it is time to employ the machine.
Okay, Georges, that should distract him for a while.
Nice work, Nico. I'll let you know what I find in the office. I was sure the inspector hadn't seen me slip away, but I needed to be quick, because it wouldn't take him long.
At last, Stobart.
Sorry, Mr. Rickenbacker. I've been busy.
Yeah, I damn well hope so. I'm watching the news.
Oh, anything interesting?
Yeah, someone stole a painting.
Oh, really?
And it was one you insured. What's going on?
Ah, yes. Well, the guy was armed, sir.
So?
You think I should have thrown myself in front of the thief, wrestled him to the ground, got myself shot?
Sure would have made me feel better. Anyway, find that painting, or give me a good reason not to pay out. Please tell me that you have some leads.
I'm working on it. It was the paper that Nico wrote for. Nico lived for the day her story would be on the front cover. I didn't want to carry the tape around. I had a feeling I wasn't going to need it. I didn't feel the need to take Henri's eraser. Carrying an ink pot around inside my pocket would have been stupid. The ink would have stained my hands for days. The lighter was corroded and grimy. It'd probably never work again. I decided to leave it. The pen could have been useful. Then again, it might have leaked all over my pocket. I didn't need a business card. I didn't like the idea of a pocket full of sharp pins. There was nothing else in the drawer. The folder looked interesting. This was very definitely tampering with evidence. It was a completion of work notice from a company called Vera Security. They weren't the guys we'd recommended. Henri had gone behind our backs to choose a different security outfit. I'd never heard of Vera Security, but there was an address and phone number on the form. The statue was jaunty, up close and personal. I could see that the fig leaf was hinged. The sofa had clearly taken some punishment over the years. The street was quiet. The woman in the picture looked vaguely familiar. A naked lady stared at me seductively. It was a battered sofa. It looked like Henri had saved the best booze for the back room. Henri's notice board was covered with all kinds of junk. The calendar looked like a child's school project. Henri had ringed 27th May and scrawled birthday. Poor guy hadn't quite made it to his big day. The poster advertised the 1975 Stockholm Music Festival, headlined by a group called the Hairy Lobsters. It was a pretty flamboyant-looking clock. A pair of evil eyes stared from a partially covered poster. The frame containing pressed flowers. Henri sure liked this clutter. A pair of evil eyes stared from a partially covered poster. It was a hookah pipe. Those things gave me a headache. Henri sure had his quirks. I didn't imagine Henri as a musician. The trinkets, the junk, the instruments. Henri was kind of a hippie at heart. The CCTV system was ancient. It took individual shots and recorded them to tape. It looked like I needed to enter a passcode to view the recording. That was almost a great idea. Almost. I needed to find a 4-digit number. I tried the door code, no luck. I needed to find a 4-digit number. Thankfully, there was no one around to see me do this. Very interesting. I wasn't going to open the safe without the key. I was fairly sure that even Henri wouldn't be silly enough to keep it hidden in the office. Now that was a safe. No way I'd be able to pick it. Henri had ringed 27th May and scrawled birthday. Bingo. I rewound the tape to before the robbery. This was the first interesting frame. It was Henri studying La Malédiction. He couldn't have had any idea what was about to happen. The image was a little fuzzy, but in the center of the painting was what looked like a snake eating its own tail. I thought about what the priest said. There was definitely something unsettling about the picture. Was Henri studying that picture, or did he look worried? There was definitely more to this robbery than I first thought. Nico and I were taking a look at La Malédiction just before the robbery. Funny, the painting didn't strike me as remarkable at the time, just odd. It seemed that whenever Nico stepped back into my life, so did trouble. There I was, looking at the exhibition. The most striking aspect of the painting was a snake eating its own tail. A good view of La Malédiction. I could kind of see why Father Simeon thought it was evil. There was a certain presence about it. The killer caught in the act. There was nothing really distinctive about him. The CCTV had caught the killer in the act of lifting La Malédiction from the wall. He knew exactly which painting to take. The most striking aspect of the painting was a snake eating its own tail. The moment it all went horribly wrong. Why hadn't Henri backed down when the thief pulled the gun? If that was me, I'd have done whatever the guy wanted. There was some writing on the front of his helmet, but I couldn't quite make it out. The alarm should have sounded when the killer took the painting, but it had been sabotaged. I wondered who could have done that. Maybe Lane, or even Henri himself. Or perhaps even Vera's security, who'd installed the system. The killer making his getaway. A logo on the front of his helmet read Waterloo Motors. That could be useful. The painting was gone. There I was, taking a look at the alarm box. Hopefully I didn't look too suspicious. The alarm should have sounded when the killer took the painting. That was me fiddling with the alarm. I hadn't thought about that when I was taking a look at the camera. That was the last shot. I probably learned everything I could from the CCTV.
Monsieur, sir, you have snuck in here, and now you are tampering with my evidence.
I'm just looking for the name of the caterer. That cheese was to die for.
To die for? To kill for. I put it to you, monsieur. Monsieur...
Stobart. George Stobart.
I put it to you that you came here in search of cheese and killed the owner in a fromage-induced frenzy.
Well, no. I'm from Paris Mutual. We insured the exhibition.
Oh, really?
Yes, really.
Time will tell, monsieur.
Truth will out, Inspector.
Who dares wins, Monsieur Stobart?
He who laughs last laughs loudest, Inspector Nave. The guy was seriously nuts.
May I remind you, monsieur, that a serious crime has been committed. I am going to have to ask you to return to the gallery.
Of course, but I do need to ask you a few questions.
D'accord. But remember, anything you say can be used against you, Monsieur Stobart.
Okay, I'll bear that in mind. It's very likely that the security camera holds a clue to the killer's identity.
Monsieur, I am a professional, and you are an amateur. So, leave the investigating to me, huh, pal?
Do you know anything about a company called Vera Security?
No, I have never heard of them. Now, I must get on with my investigation. Monsieur, you are American, no?
Yeah, California born and bred.
Of course. I think perhaps you are wanting to be like that Starsky and Butch, monsieur. No? Rolling around on top of fast cars with beautiful ladies, firing your gun.
Interesting idea, Inspector, but not really my style.
Indeed. Well, let me tell you something, monsieur. You are my prime suspect. You may go now, but I will need to speak with you again.
I had some valuable leads, but before following up on them, I had important business to attend to. Hey, Nico, you want to grab a quick cup of coffee?
Sure.
I am pleased to announce that I have finished my preliminary investigation. This is now an official crime scene, and you must all go. I shall be questioning all of you again in the coming days. Nobody is to leave the country, particularly you, Monsieur Stobart. Monsieur Lang will stay behind to help secure the premises. Mo?
Yes, Inspector.
Let them out.
Right away, sir.
Two coffees, please.
Nice work in there, Nico. Whatever you did, it worked.
I just made a tiny distraction, and Nave bought it.
I think Nave would buy anything that had blood on it. You know, this whole setup, the theft, the murder, it just doesn't make sense.
What do you mean?
Like I said, I think it was an inside job.
Go on.
Someone disabled the alarm, but on just one painting.
Let me guess. La maledicción.
Exactly. And I aim to find out who did it. The CCTV picked up an image of the thief. His helmet had the words Waterloo Motors written across it.
Interesting. I think I got a couple of good shots of him too, but I need to take a better look at them at home.
Great. Let me know what you find. Well, the priest thinks La Maledicción is evil.
Charles, she's just crazy.
Yeah, you're probably right. But there's something strange going on. I found the address of the security company Henri employed. It was not the one that I recommended.
Good luck with your investigations. Well, I guess I should go. This story won't write itself. And Josh,
Yeah?
it's good to see you again.
Great to see you too, Nico. I watched her walk away. The sound of traffic, the sun shining, a crime to solve, and Nico back in my life.